All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, can feel a little daunting. Information security. But what if I told you it's not just about avoiding problems? What if it could be one of your biggest business advantages? Today, we're going to demystify all of this. We're going to break down how you can turn security from this thing you have to do into a real strategic asset that builds trust and actually helps you win. So yeah, let's get into it.
I mean, it really all boils down to this one question, right? How do you prove that you can be trusted with data? Because let's face it, in today's world, trust is everything. It's not a nice to have anymore, it's literally the ticket to play. So how do you show people, your customers, your partners, even the regulators, that you're not just saying you're secure, but that you actually are?
And that's where the real challenge kicks in. You know, the days of just slapping a firewall on your network and hoping for the best? Those are long gone. Protecting data now, well, it's a huge deal. It's a strategic headache for pretty much every leader out there.
And it really does feel like a battle sometimes. Just think about it for a second. Picture two companies, right? They both get hit by the exact same cyber attack. Company A, they've got no real plan. It's total chaos. They're scrambling, trying to figure out what's going on, who to call, all while the damage is just spreading like wildfire. They're losing data, losing money, and man, are they losing customer trust. But then you've got Company B. They have a system. When the attack hits, a clear plan kicks in, and the damage is contained. They know exactly how to communicate what happened. Now, they still took a hit, sure, but they handled it. Their reputation is solid. The real question is, what if there was a blueprint to make sure you're always Company B?
Well, there is. And this is where the solution really starts to click into place. Instead of always being on your back foot, just reacting to whatever threat comes along, you build a proactive system to manage it all. And that system, that framework, has a name. It's called an Information Security Management System. You'll hear it called an ISMS for short.
I love this analogy because it's so perfect. The best way to think about an ISMS is like your body's immune system, right? Your immune system isn't just waiting for one specific type of cold virus. No, it's a whole interconnected system that's always on, always adapting, and protecting your entire body from all sorts of threats. That's exactly what a good ISMS does for your company's information. It's a living, breathing system for total protection.
Okay, so let's get a little more specific here. It's super important to understand that an ISMS is not just a piece of software you buy and install. It's the whole shebang. It's a complete system made up of your policies, your processes, the technology you use, all of it working together in a really structured way to manage your security risks from top to bottom.
And what's the goal of this whole system? Well, it all comes down to three simple but powerful ideas, often called the CIA triad. First, confidentiality. That just means keeping secrets secret. Only the right people can see the information. Next is integrity. This means your data is trustworthy. It hasn't been messed with. And finally, availability, which is exactly what it sounds like. The data is there when the right people need it. That's it. That's the core mission.
So when you look at how an ISMS works, it's really built on these powerful guiding principles. First, it's risk-based. I love this because it means you're not trying to do everything at once. You focus your energy on the biggest, scariest threats first. It's also holistic. It's not just about tech, it's about your people, your processes, everything. And maybe the most important part, it's all about continuous improvement. This isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's a living system that evolves, because hey, the threats are always evolving too.
Okay, so the idea of an ISMS makes sense. But how do you actually build one? And how do you know you're doing it right and not just making things up as you go? Well, you need a blueprint. And lucky for us, there's a globally recognized gold standard for that. It's called ISO 27001.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. ISO 27001 is widely known as the standard for information security management. It's the benchmark. When you adopt this standard, you're basically sending a signal to the entire world that you're following the best of the best security practices out there.
So if the ISMS is the system, you can think of ISO 27001 as the official rulebook. It's the instruction manual that tells you exactly how to build it, how to run it, and critically, how to keep making it better. It just takes all the guesswork out of the process, which is a huge relief. All right, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a ton of work. And yeah, it's a serious project for sure. But the great thing about the ISO 27001 standard is that it doesn't just dump a bunch of rules on you. It actually gives you a super clear step-by-step path to follow. It's totally manageable when you break it down.
And here's what that path looks like. It's really a continuous cycle. It all starts at the top with leadership buy-in and setting clear goals. Then you get into the weeds. You figure out what your biggest risks are. Based on those risks, you pick the right security controls. Then comes the documentation, writing down your policies so everyone's on the same page. After that, you roll it all out and you train your people. So important. And then, and this is the key, you don't stop. You constantly monitor, review, and look for ways to get better. It's a loop, not a straight line.
Okay, let's get to the question that's probably on every leader's mind. What's in it for me? What's the ROI here? Why should I invest all this time and effort? The simple answer is because the payoff is huge and it directly impacts your bottom line.
And this is a really important mindset shift. Yes, of course, doing this helps you check off compliance boxes for things like GDPR. That's a big deal. But if you only think of this as a compliance chore, you are missing the entire point. The real game-changing value here is strategic.
Just look at the impact across the board. When you handle risks systematically, you get fewer security incidents, which means you're avoiding massive fines and costly downtime. You're ready for things like GDPR. You're building a business that can actually keep running even if disaster strikes. But here's the kicker. It's a massive competitive advantage. So many big companies won't even talk to you unless you have an ISO 27001 certification. This can literally open doors to deals you couldn't get before.
Look, at the end of the day, all of this, it boils down to one word: trust. Getting that ISO 27001 certification isn't just about making things better on the inside. It's a loud and clear signal you send to the outside world. It's you proving to everyone, customers, partners, you name it, that you take this stuff seriously, that you're a partner they can trust. So let's pull all these threads together. This is really about reframing how we look at security. For too long, it's been seen as just a cost center, a necessary evil, a drain on the budget. But that's the wrong way to look at it. It's an investment in your company's resilience, and maybe even more importantly, in your reputation.
When you build a proper ISMS with ISO 27001 as your roadmap, you fundamentally change your company's posture. You stop being the firefighter, constantly putting out fires, and you become the architect, proactively designing a system to prevent them. Security transforms from a reactive chore into a proactive strategy that actually helps your business grow safely. And so that's the final thought I really want to leave you with today. Take a moment and think about your own business. Right now, is your security just a line item on the budget, a potential landmine waiting to go off? Or could it be your next big competitive advantage? Could it be the very thing that builds the trust you need to win that next huge client? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.